I met a lot of cool people on this trip, but none cooler than my man Phil from Canada. Phil is married and in his 80s with a wife who doesn't like to travel. What? Such creatures exist? So what does Phil do? Waste away in Canada? Nope. He books a bunk and heads out on an adventure cruise aboard the Aranui. If and when I ever get married, this is how I plan to roll.
How old are you, if you don't mind me asking?
I'm 83.
83.
Yeah.
And you're on this trip alone, even though
Yes.
you're married, yeah?
Yeah, my wife is not a traveler.
Okay.
And we have a 32-year-old marriage, which has a lot of understanding in it, a great deal of love. And she said, go for it. So I go for it.
That's fantastic. Is this your first time to French
Oh,
Polynesia?
yeah.
Me as well. Do you feel like now, on the back end of the trip, that you've learned a lot about the culture?
I have a feeling for the people. They're marvelous, warm, friendly. Love it.
What was your biggest surprise here?
The organization of the staff, the logistics are incredible. And I have to hand it to these guys. It's just great.
And Canadians, to me, are vaunted travelers. Why do you think that is?
I'm an educator at heart. And I think it's an education issue. And I guess the crunch is curiosity. And how do you teach curiosity?
Phil's cabin mate is Nick. Nick is from France and decidedly younger than Phil, but he's traveled a lot already. He and Phil may make an odd traveling pair, but that's part of the magic of traveling aboard the Aranui and the magic of travel itself.
You strike me as a well-traveled guy, even though you're very young. Do you have any idea how many countries you've been to?
I would say between 20 and 35. Most people around me travel because in Europe, travel is something more natural because it's so easy. And our countries are small, so just taking your car and going 2 hours away, sometimes you end up in 2 different countries at the same time.
That's right, different language, different everything. I live in New York City now. One of my favorite things is meeting people from other countries and then go visiting that country. And then if a disaster happens somewhere, if you have gone there and you've met people there, you're more touched. They're human beings rather than just a statistic on television screen. Right?
Yeah, absolutely.
What about, like, on this trip, what has struck you and been your favorite thing about this trip to French Polynesia?
Definitely the Marquesas Islands and the people. The people are way more similar to us mainland French people than I expected. They have the same cultural references. We have a way of thinking that is similar, the same humor. So in a way, it's like being in the same country while being in a totally different culture. It's something striking and you don't feel like you're a tourist. You feel like you're at home with them.
One last question. When you're traveling and you see someone in need and you want to be able to help them, it's kind of a dicey situation. You don't want to be giving them a sense of dependency, but at the same time, you want to help. What is your best advice for people who want to help when they go somewhere? What's the best way to help?
I think the best way to help those people is to meet them, see that they're like you, and then when you go home, maybe you can participate in associations or in NGOs and things that do institutions that have the channels to actually make a difference.